Is this thing on? Is it working? Looks like it. Okay, so what's up, guys? This is I guess a podcast pilot. I don't know. We're planning on doing a podcast. This is the first episode, seeing how it goes. Uh, I'm PadfootTheWolf,
And I'm Bayx.
and today we're gonna talk about Recode on PFQ. Uh, do we want to introduce ourselves more first, though?
That might be a good idea. Do you want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay, well, I'm Bayx. I am a user on the site, of course. You might have seen me once or twice in the streams. Well, not seen, heard me, rather. And, where do I start? I was on PF1 since March 30th of 2010. I've been on PFQ since February 2nd of 2014, so that anniversary passed not too long ago. Whoa. Yeah, I'm a college student. Going to be going into med school in 2 years, so that's always fun. And I have a wonderful girlfriend. Say hi.
Hey.
Okay, you can go.
All right. I'm PadfootTheWolf. Most of you know me as Padfoot. Uh, I'm a helping hand on site. Just another user mostly. You've probably seen me in streams if you watch the streams. Or heard me rather. You've seen me play a little. Um, I'm all around the site. I lurk in the forums a lot, and that's one of the things actually is like I've actually been lacking a little bit because they're kind of everywhere since the recode, and so it's like okay, I do what I can, but kind of stray away from it at times. But I'm also busy with school too. I'm a college student. Uh, I'm in my 4th semester, so I'm a sophomore. But I've recently changed my major, so I'm kind of still getting that figured out. But I'm gonna have to take a summer semester, I think, maybe 2, but to submit to fit all of my hours in that I still need. That I think that's it. I don't know what else to say. Uh, but I have a question for you, Bakes. What are you?
Hmm.
Uh, I take that back actually. What do you like so far about the recode?
So far about the recode. Oh wow, where do I begin? One, Pokefarm is back. That week it was down. Oh my god, that was horrible. I missed it so much, but one thing I definitely like coming in, the albino Pokemon have sparkles.
I really want to see that. Like I don't think I will, but I'm not hunting right now because other issues or other reasons rather. But I always refresh when I hatch eggs, so I'm not gonna see it anyway. Like I really hope there will be a skip hatching animation option maybe, like there used to be pre-recode. But uh
Precode.
shut up with your stupid puns. But what color are the sparkles? Because the shiny ones are like a I think a blue. I don't
They
remember.
are blue. Hmm. It'd technically be spoiling if I said that though.
Urgh. All right, I'll wait. Um, anything else you like?
The layout, I think it's kind of a lot cleaner, definitely. And I also like the fact that you can change the width of the site. Customize, I cannot word, wow. The ability to customize, for the most part, with the width of the site is major because, I don't know, it's just the ability to make it more clean. And then, I'm rambling, pardon me, but the farm page, I love the way that's laid out.
Also, don't apologize. They're here to listen to us talk.
That
um,
is true.
so you like the
At
ability to
least I hope so.
make things how you want, like fit your own preferences.
Yep.
So you like the albino sparklies and the site width. Like anything else? Is there anything? Is there much anything else really that's new yet?
Besides the site in general. um,
Oh, there's one thing I
I
like. I like the. I'm sorry. I like the color of the trainer cards. I like that nice purple. I wish there was a difference between ranks, but I couldn't deal without. I really like.
Right. Hmm. The new counter sprites, those are adorable.
Oh yeah, the new counter sprites and the avatars for the staff members that they have right now.
Yes, in the staff toaster.
In the staff roster, you mean?
I call it the staff toaster.
So is it written on a piece of bread?
Well, you should probably ask Say about that. Well, wait, you should ask the fart director.
She'll just fart on the toast. She won't tell you what's on it.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem. And if we ask Garth, we have to give him a muffin to smash. I don't know. I mean, last I checked, it was.
Let's see what else is on the side. I do like that they did compensate people with free hyper mode while like they're still settling in, still getting things done, fixing thing or adding things rather that still have yet to be done that were there before the recode.
Right. I think that
I
was
think
rather generous of them.
yeah,
Rest in peace
that's what
to
I was
all
gonna
the
say.
lost Uber
Generous.
charms, but
Uber charms aren't too expensive, and I agree that it's easier to hunt with Uber charms, but of course you don't need them. You don't even need hyper mode, but it makes it so much easier.
right. That's kind of the thing too. Hyper mode. If you weigh your values, hyper mode is more valuable than an Uber charm.
Yeah, that's kind of why I like the fact that they also lowered the prices for them. It's kind of sad to see that the first time hyper mode is gone, but I guess that would have been nullified if people took the freebie anyway. But it's like at the same time, like what would they put the hyper mode at? 300 Zofan, 200 Zofan, 250 even. It's like that's
Right.
really really cheap for a hyper mode. But I
Pretty
like
much.
that it's 500 instead of 800 now.
Right. That's kind of like a solid, nice price to pay.
Yeah, and I don't remember
So,
uh,
hmm.
180 and 365 days are, but it's up there. Worth it though, because you get a bunch of free time.
Yeah. Um, hmm. What else do you like?
I've actually taken on the point of refusing to give much criticism about the site until the recode is completely done. Like obviously there are things that I want to see, there are things that I don't like, there are things that I do like, but I'd rather like I will say like a little thing that I like is like again the trainer card color. I love that purple color. I actually like that the badges are displayed on the trainer card too, and you can see what you're missing at a glance. Although I will say it looks very strange when someone's missing just one badge. I remember going to Say's page going, Say, you need this badge. Get this badge. It's throwing
Yes.
me off.
Um, Another thing too, the V-Wave predictor. That is cool. Kudos to Shazzy for that art.
I love that you called it a predictor because I called it a predictor a couple hours ago, and you corrected me to say V-Wave forecast, and that was the first time I had forgotten the word forecast, and now you said predictor instead of V-Wave forecast.
Yeah.
It's
It's the V-Wave predictor now.
the V-Wave forecast. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Actually, today's server time is February 13th, but it's an hour and 23 minutes after the reset as of right this moment. And so this will actually go up on server day the 13th. So, recent news. What else do we want to talk about? Oh yeah, what are we looking forward to? Let's do short term, long term. Like short term being like what is yet to be added that still needs to be, and long term like what's gonna come down the line.
Right. I think you should kick this one off. I kicked off the first few.
Yeah, that's a fair point, I guess. Short term, let's see.
I can't be jumping down the ravine all the time.
um, I really want the daycare removing and adding Pokemon to the daycare to come back because I pulled Pokemon out before the recode, like just an in case,
Right.
Even though it was a kind of a throwaway pair, I didn't want them to like be stuck in there or something, taking up field space. Though.
Right. Have
So
the
now I
percentage be set to something ridiculous.
yeah, or like like some glitch happens. I didn't want anything to mess up, so I took them out, and now I can't add Pokemon, and I'm like, well, I don't want to hunt because I don't want to steal somebody's eggs, because I mean it as a hunter, I know that when somebody's not breeding, and somebody's not breeding, because you see parties and parties of eggs that you have bred, or even you and other people have bred, but not a single one is bred by them. And it's kind of disheartening because you're like, I put in all this effort clicking and stuff, and it's like, and they have my eggs. It's like, I mean, yeah, once they go to the shelter, they're not yours anymore. But it's kind of disheartening too. Is like all your effort is going elsewhere. It's like you breed 100 eggs for yourself, and then suddenly you're left with 20. And that's if you
Well, I mean, they're going to be divvied among other people who are hunting that Pokemon too, and lower ranks who need those dex entries, even higher ranks who need those dex entries. But it's definitely one of those things where it's like if someone's literally not putting in the effort to breed for a hunt, I could see how my feathers or fur in this case would get a little ruffled.
yeah, it's one of those things like you can't. It's you want to complain, but you can't complain, but you can complain. It's
Confusing.
kind of a difficult situation.
Right. What
But
about long term?
actually, another short term one is I want releasing because I'm not spending my credits. I'm hoarding my credits for a separate reason. But so I don't want like the option
Ditto.
I feel to be good for other people. I wouldn't use it. I would much rather have releasing be an option.
Hmm.
Um, but I need that daycare and releasing option, and then I can be hunting again. And it's like I understand that the hyper mode was kind of a compensation for those of us in hyper mode that can't use it, and they're just like everybody can have it as kind of a what's the word I'm looking for?
Apology.
Not really an apology, but I guess to be against the inconvenience. I guess I don't know. I'm not good with
I don't
words.
know, just kind of like a makeup saying, hey, the site isn't as ready as we wanted it to be. Here's something a little bit extra.
Here's something to help for the inconvenience. I guess
Hmm.
like that's
Yeah.
really nice. I'm glad that that is a thing. I really want that releasing option and the daycare to come back though. Like I want to do
I
something.
don't blame you.
Like I'm glad to be collecting gems that I need to boost up my badges a little more. But
Gems.
at the same time, it's kind of like I kind of want to hunt, but I don't want to steal from other people. Like I have hunts to do. I have hunts for other people. I have a hunt for you to finish, but
Hmm.
I just can't do it until those options get added.
Yep.
Short term. What about you?
Pretty much the same thing. Well, except for the daycare. Releasing definitely and buying more fields. I have literally zero field space left because I did leave my parent for igloo hunting. Um, yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to, releasing Pokemon and buying more fields because practically I have one empty party slot as of this time. I'm saving that for a Ditto because anything else I cannot do. Long story short, my progress on anything is kind of halted until that's added for the most part. Don't get me wrong, I can still click and everything, I can still breed, not a problem. But I won't exactly to be benefiting from that, which I don't have a problem with that personally. It's just one of those things where it's like, aw,
Yeah, it's like you're kind of lucky that you left it in because when they gave the free hyper mode, you're like, ooh, give me, I'm a hunt now. And then you spent one day hunting, you're like, well, my fields are full.
pretty much. And then I was sitting in the back of class and I hatched that albino.
You told me about that, and I'm so like, ah.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, the albino igloo buff in my party at this current time, I had been minimum charging my radar for a few days. Level 7 radar, minimum charge, random albino.
It's
Hello
not really
there.
still charge the radar. You just had a
Right, but
very
it's
low
like,
chance of getting one.
yeah, 600.7% chance.
Boosted chance.
Boosted. Well, that's pretty much chance, period.
Nope. There's a base chance that you don't know, and then there's that much boost, and it increases depending on how much you charge your radar.
Fair enough then, but yeah. Pretty much, if you look at the custom description, it's when you're in class hatching eggs and you get an albino from a minimum charged radar. It made my day.
That sounds like it would make your day. It sounds like that would make anybody's day.
Hmm.
Oh, another thing I'm actually looking forward to short term, I guess, hopefully short term, is scours. It's like I like
Yeah.
getting stuff. It's kind of like it's almost like opening a box without opening a box. It's like every hour something else comes in and goes, I brought you a thing. Or if they're like, I went and I ate some berries on the way and I walked around for an hour. I didn't find nothing. I didn't bring you nothing back. It's like, go back out there and look again.
Hmm. Yeah. What about long term?
uh, Definitely looking forward to dungeons. I really want to see how that's done. Like, obviously, that's going to be a ways off at this point, but I really want to see how they're done. If it's any, like, from what I remember, it was something along the lines of it could be you and like friend or some friends. I guess I don't remember fully, but
Hmm.
there was going to be a cooperative part to it, and in my mind that would be so cool to like go through a dungeon with a friend, like, and your Pokemon that you've raised or whatever trained even. It's like all of this stuff kind of combines into one, and it's like that sounds really cool. I hope that that can be a legitimate thing that gets made.
Yes. Anything else?
Uh, I don't remember what else is kind of a wait until the recode, wait until the recode, wait until the recode. I don't remember what else there is. Oh, one thing that is actually on the new recode of PFQ, if I can remember words, is the quick evolve option on the farm page. Oh my god, that thing is handy.
That thing is amazing, especially when you start getting up in the higher badges.
Oh my god. 3,375 for the final master badge, and that's not including everything up to that. Oh, it took me 6 hours pre-recode, and that was with a few breaks, a few very short breaks. I think the level before that took me
Yeah.
2 hours. Master badge hunting takes a lot of time. Don't go into
Yeah,
don't go into it unless you've got the determination to see it through, or
I
if
do.
you've got 5 years.
Yeah, or if you're insane enough.
Yeah, I was just insane enough to do it. I was insane enough to be the first one too, apparently.
Yeah. Hmm. For me, wow, a few things. Mini games.
Oh,
Excited for those.
I
Um,
forgot about those.
yeah, look on the first page, play mini games. I'm reading this. We have a variety of mini games you can play, spend time with your Pokemon, raise your affection, and win prizes. Fun for all. Coming soon. I am excited for that. It's more to do on this site. I am flat out addicted to this site. I live on this site. I breathe this site. Pretty much. So anything else would just be fun. That and Elta's cookie jar. Cookies.
You told me that Elta's cookie jar is getting remade to a certain extent. Like, of course, we don't
It
know. They don't even know.
is.
They're working on it, but I never really used it. Like, I know what it does, but it's kind of spoilerish material, so we won't obviously talk about it here. Um,
Hmm.
but it's kind of like it's one of those things where it's like I just never really used it, so it wasn't really one of those things that kind of stood out to me. I know that it's there, and I know it's there
Right.
if I want to
Well,
use
as of one of Elta's cookie bakers, I need to have a place to store those cookies.
it.
My cupboards are getting full.
On the topic of Elta, actually, all of the cookies, all of the hugs, all of that goes to Elta. She made the picture that's on the video right now. Like, we obviously can't look at it at the moment. We can actually pull it up if we want to, but it'll be on the
Mhm.
video when we upload it.
Yes. Kudos to Elta. I am making her double batches to put in that cookie jar.
I came back from, I actually left the room, came back like after 20 minutes and saw a message waiting on my Skype, and I went, yes.
Yes, she showed it to me and I squealed.
Did you say screeled?
I said squealed. It was just really drawn out.
I was like, screeled. Is that a combination between scream and squeal? It's like
It
in
would make more sense.
in that case, that would be exactly what we both did.
Pretty much. How are we looking on time?
We're at about 20 minutes.
Okay, good to know. Just checking.
Just over 20 minutes.
Okay.
So, going back to the whole like this is a podcast thing. It might be a thing we do normally. Like we plan on doing weekly episodes. We're not sure what we're gonna talk about.
Mhm.
Just this week is like the recode is relevant because the site opened up a week ago. But in the future, will we'd like to have guests, but that might not happen for like another podcast or two to make sure we're getting on our feet. But
Mhm.
I want to make a business statement kind of about that. If you want to be a guest on the podcast, message Padfoot the Wolf on Pokefarm, please, with the subject. The PMs are kind of weird in my opinion, but like cuz it has all the conversations from one person listed under
Mhm.
the one person and the subjects are all different. But the message me with the subject podcast, I guess. We don't really have a name for it either yet, but we'll figure that out.
Don't know.
Just message me with the subject podcast and let me know that you're interested so I have your username. Let me know your Skype username so I can add you. And then we should be good to go, I guess.
Yeah.
Obviously, make sure you have a mic.
Yep, and preferably like a decent quality. We're not asking perfect quality like Padfoot's over here. I don't know how mine sounds because I can't exactly hear it
Your
until,
sounds
of course,
perfect.
I listen to the podcast. But at least decent quality, please.
I don't think that'll be too much of an issue with the setup we have. Like, for instance, I'm using the mic on my headset, and Bakes
Hmm.
is using a phone, actually. I don't think she has a mic at all. But
Nope.
at least hopefully, I'll have to listen to it later. But at least hopefully it's picking up very well. So as long as it's not like, as long as your mic doesn't die, it shouldn't be a problem at all. Just
Pretty much.
one thing I would say is make sure that you have a quiet area that you can go to so there won't be any background noise because that will really mess up the I don't want to say mess up necessarily, but it would interfere with, the podcast and all.
Hmm.
That'll be nice because we can have like maybe one or two guests in, like rotate out every week or something.
Yeah. Another thing too is that depending on on how well these go, we are both full-time college students. Heck, I every week pretty much from a time to a time because I'm not in the mood to do math right now.
Hmm.
But pretty
Yeah.
much I'm in classes for 7 hours a day, 7 day or 5 days a week. Depending on how these go, this could be a potential possibility. For the most part, these will be weekly, but they could turn out to be bi-weekly maybe. It just depends, but yeah.
It depends on our scheduling. It depends on, if we want to have a guest. It depends on their scheduling. It depends on their time zone as well. Because we both live in the U.S., so it's easy for us to get together even if we're 1 hour apart. Um,
Pretty much we might be an hour apart, but of course we're able to do things because we can make it work. But of course, might not be the case for every single occasion.
yeah, it might get to a point like I'm relatively free on Fridays, which is the night we're recording this. It might get to the point where we might have to do a recording on Saturday and put it out a little later on Saturday than we plan on doing it. But
Right, or if
it'll be something we
case
figure out.
Right, or in the case that we have a guest, we might have to record it because their schedule, I don't know, Tuesday and then have it just pre-recorded so we can put it up. I don't mean to change subjects here, but like, and also on the subject of topics, basically synonyms. I just realized that. Um, I almost said subject to subjects,
I just
but yeah. In the future, I think for the most part, we will, of course, poke farm is the main thing we do. We're kind of be centered around that. As this goes on, I think we might be starting to talk about events on Poke Farm that might be going on more like towards the end of the month, mass click weekend, bonus counters, how those work. I think for the most part, though, we might just end up talking about basic things, tips and pointers. Like for you, you could go on for hours about shiny hunting.
Yeah. I could go on for hours about a lot of aspects. It's like it's kind of how I became a helping hand as well, is because I just kind of see when people, like in the help thread especially, it's like, how do you do this, or how does this work? It's like I just tell them, and then I just do that for like 4 months straight, and it just worked out, I guess.
Right. And then for me, I don't know, I would like to say I'm a fairly rounded user, so I can help how I can. Of course, I'm not as well as Padfoot over here, but, you know, um,
It's because I spend more time on the site because I have no life. She has more school than I
well,
do.
yeah, yeah, that's definitely going to be the case here in a bit, while to come for the future. But, yeah, and then another thing too is that we might be expanding to games because we are gamers.
Oh, that's a good point.
Hmm. Another thing too, just throwing out an idea as well. We have Pokemon games. We could probably try and do an audio run of sorts, because I know we both have. You have Heart Gold, I have Soul Silver, I have Diamond, you have Platinum.
I'm not restarting my platinum game, but yeah,
And then I recall, didn't you say you have Black and White?
I do. Yes.
So we could do a Black and White run. But
You
basically,
know what
just
would be
things
cool
for the
though?
future that could happen.
You know what
Hmm?
would be cool? We could
Hmm.
probably both load up Pokemon White and kind of do a speed run against each other, like how fast can you get to each, like, gym and stuff, each like kind of milestone in the game. We could do something like that on a podcast while, like,
Right,
talking
but we'd
about
have
games.
to, yeah, we'd have to like set a time we can play though, because knowing me, I could get the game done in a day.
Wow. Okay then.
A few hours if I'm lucky.
Don't you just love planning podcasts on a podcast?
Well, this is the pilot.
Yeah, I mean, kind of anything goes as long as within certain bounds, I guess. But it's one of those things where you have to kind of put thought into it, because like we do want to talk about Pokemon, we do want to talk about games, but we also want to talk about, like, each other's lives and stuff, like what's happening that's relative, I guess. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. We're kind of following in the footsteps too of Garth's couple of podcasts that he did while the site was down. And thinking back on it, it was a lot of kind of behind the scenes things, like staff stuff. Obviously, Bakes and I are not staff. And so it's like, well, what do we talk about?
Yeah, we can only talk about so much as users. But of course, the future is bright. Of course, as events unleash, we have topics to talk about. And as the recode gets finished, we can maybe throw out our opinions on that.
I can't wait for the recode to be fully done. Like, I saw when the click back and jump links were implemented the other day. I think yesterday, but recently. And I was
Hmm.
like, ooh, I can click now. At least easier. All
Right.
right, what do you think? Time to wrap this thing up?
Um, yep.
Any last orders of business you want to get to or something?
Not really, other than I hope you guys were entertained. We are not professionals at this whatsoever.
It might come with practice, but I do want to add that don't be afraid to talk to us, like on site even. Don't be afraid to leave a comment either. I will read every comment on videos that I post, and
Yeah. She
I
can
usually
relay
respond to
messages
them
to
as
me
well.
too.
What was that?
Sorry for cutting you off there. And if you ever have anything for like me or Padfoot, leave them in the comment section, or feel free to PM us, of course. If it's a comment section, it might take a little longer to reach me, just as a fair warning, because of course, as a mobile user, I cannot read the comment section. But I will get to you and I will respond. It just might take a bit longer than a PM.
And with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and say bye now. So
Adios.
bye guys. Hope you had fun.
Yeah. See you next time.